Nice cool fall day here in North Carolina. Anyway, I'm out working on the chassis. You can see I've got a few more of the capacitors replaced and resistors in a few locations that tie back to the candohm resistor here, the metal strip running in this direction. It's open, as you can see, and if you guys recall, the one section was bypassed with this resistor. And if you look at the schematic, the section that was bypassed was the small section here. It's number 39 on the schematic that I'll reference. Should be 8.5K. And then section number 40 is 25K. Anyway, this power resistor that somebody put in is 2.5K. Again, you never know what you're going to find in these things. So I'll use my spring tools, chisel, to remove the rivets or drill them out from the top. I'll look at that. Then we'll look at replacing the resistors with the proper values. We'll do a little more due diligence here on the candohm once we get it out. Just to ensure I'm drilling the correct rivets out, I've marked these in blue. A little stubborn to get out. Just cut the lead to this capacitor that I'm going to need to replace anyway. Not the best design, as you can see, with the candohm generating much heat right underneath the antenna coil. It's a wonder it's any count, and hopefully it is. Anyway, my values are going to be just a little bit different than the schematic. I think I'm going to use a 10K in lieu of the 8.5. That'll still keep me within 20% of the original value, and with the higher line voltages, I think I'll be just within a few volts of where the schematic voltages will call out. You can see the resistors I'll be using, a 25K and a 10K. Already had these on hand, no need to go buy anything. With inflation right now, I think I can make that work. Let me ponder on this just a bit. I think this is my best option for mounting the new power resistors to replace the open candohm. It's in the same orientation as the previous, but I'm not quite as far up underneath the antenna coil. So I think this will serve me well. Just a dry fit using one fastener now, and just got the two resistors tacked together. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. A quick update on the Crosley 5V1 from the early 1930s. You can see I've got all the resistors replaced with the exception of one that I left behind, a 60K ohm, I believe, and all the capacitors replaced at this point in time. You can see I have not tied in the electrolytic at this point. Things are a little bit tight down here around the rectifier tube, as you can see, the type 80. So when I tie in the transformer, I'll probably go ahead and tie in the electrolytic capacitors at that same point. The IF transformer back in that I had to rebuild. Do a rewind on that. If you guys didn't catch that, I'll put a pop-up here, right top corner of the screen. You can go back and catch that, or if you don't see that, depending on your viewing device, just check out the video description. The old two-section candohm resistor was completely open on both sections. Someone had tamped in one section, the 10K section, and put a 2500 ohm resistor in lieu of the 8500. Again, I went back with a 25K and a 10K. I'll expand on the candohm selection here in just a bit. Share with you guys how I did the math to come up with the new value. Anyway, let me go ahead and get the power transformer in and the tuning condenser back in. I think I'll start with the tuning condenser, leave the power transformer for last, and then get this tied in. And then we'll be really close to our first power up. As you guys can see, I've got the 3 new rubber grommets in place, and I'm going to go ahead and replace these old fasteners too. As you guys can see, I've got the tuning condenser remounted. Let me go ahead and get everything tied back into this circuit electrically. And then we can move on to the power transformer itself and get the E-caps connected as well. Hey guys, just checking the front end of the receiver just to make sure I've got everything hooked up correctly. Just tuning through the broadcast band.
The Church of the Laodiceans right. These things said the Amen, the faithful and true witness, that began to create.
So the tuning seems to be pretty close.
And at Angolo, an Italian spot in Washington, D.C., Chef Jamal Bouzid's.
This just confirms I've got everything connected correctly to the tuning condenser, and the antenna coil is connected correctly as well back to the tuning condenser, best I can tell. Of course, the real test will come when we get this thing powered back up, but a good indicator.
Point. Absolutely. Breaking down all the barriers. This is the same path that...
Using the tuning condenser here, I'm able to tune in some stations.
In one body and with one single motion, you wrote every...
Off to the power transformer now.
Por eso con limpieza le estamos regalando gratis, no pagan.
No, not yet. We're gonna wait. You got him? Okay.
Every day. Who knows? Maybe he will come before.
Lives that are based on Scripture. His article praying. Crazy about his Se encarga de las finanzas.